Ladies and gentlemen, if we can get the camera back to me, because I think we got the camera. But anyway, you already saw one of my special guests. I'll introduce him in just a second. Yeah, my folks always do that here. This is live TV. They play tricks on me, but it's okay. I'm catching on to y'all. Ladies and gentlemen at home, you know, the crime of the week is something very tragic. I mean, it's a homicide, you know, a stabbing of an individual. And I know someone has information out there, and just keep in mind, you know, what you've done because of your cause to Crime Stoppers is made our local Crime Stoppers the #1 in the world in Houston, Harris County because of your support. Because you remain anonymous. You can get up to $5,000 reward, and all they give you is a code. That code is your means of communication. No one will ever know who you are. You know, that code is how you give the information to Crime Stoppers. There's police officers there that will investigate the information. The individual, the suspect will be brought to justice. And this is the way we continue to improve the quality of life. It's a win-win situation. And we appreciate your support. So in this case, the stabbing that occurred on April the 18th, 2011, it was at the 6800 block of Waltrip. The victim, Courtney Bell, 28 years of age, and suffered multiple stab wounds, but unfortunately passed away at Bentown Hospital. So if you have any information, call Crime Stoppers, give them that information, you get up to $5,000 reward, and we can bring this suspect to justice. So again, thank you very much for your support. And now to my very special guests that are here. Let me make sure we get all the information correct. But we're talking about Mother's Day. And I just wanted to, you know, talk about how special Mother's Day is, not just because of, you know, our own moms that we want to make sure we thank, but all kinds of moms out there. Let me introduce some of those special moms and the individuals that are involved with this concept. Let me start off by saying Brenda Coleman. Is it Brenda?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for being on the show. And also Sylvia Zamora Hollingsworth.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay.
Yes.
And also we have Wendy Cardolf.
Yes, and thanks for having me.
Did I pronounce it right?
Yes, you sure did.
Thank you very much. Okay, and also Ralph Owens. You're with CPS?
I am.
You're a recruiter with CPS
yes.
of foster parents. So
and adopted parents.
Tell me a little bit about your concept.
Well, we try to get the word out about adoptions and foster care. We have probably in this county 54 children that are in the state conservatorship at this time. And
tell us what that means.
Well, that means the state has custody of these children, and they're either placed in foster homes or in adoptive homes. But of that number, there's over 1,600 children that are legally free for adoption right now in this area, in the Houston area. Statewide, there's over 6,000 children that are legally free for adoption. So there's a lot of children out there that need homes, and we're looking for loving homes and people that care about children.
And do you know some of my special guests that are here?
We have, and know that they've adopted children and providing permanent homes for these children.
So even though you have that program, the concept, there's no relationship to the guests that I have here?
Well, they've adopted some of them through our program. You know.
Through your program.
Yes.
Okay, good. And let me start off, maybe with Brenda. Tell me a little bit about yourself and, why you do what you do. Tell me.
Well, I'm adopting 8 of my grandchildren. I'm taking care of them because their mom couldn't. And I love them, and I just didn't want to see them go to the state. I wanted to give them a home.
And in reality, what you're saying, because the state, that's what they try to do, is find adopted parents.
Yes.
So you're kind of helping the state by saying, hey, why don't we just partner up, right?
Yes. Yes.
So, I mean, I think I understand it, the fact that the state needs that kind of support. So if we do it in a way that's constructive, like you stepping up, I mean, but that's kind of tough. That's rare. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, to say you're going to adopt 8 grandchildren, that's a big challenge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Well, I love them so much. I wouldn't have it any other way.
And you know, I commend you. That's why I was glad that my staff helped out in putting this program together to recognize, again, the traditional moms. We're very grateful. You know, we love you. But I wanted this recognition and to talk about it, ladies and gentlemen, so we can be more upfront, and we can be, I think, also supportive of what we're talking about here, you know, as far as parents stepping up to the plate to be adoptive parents. Sylvia, tell me a little bit about yourself and, you know, why you do what you do.
Well, I was telling them before the show that I come from a family of 15, and so when we didn't have our children, we started late, we decided that we wanted 6 children and they never came, so what better way to do it than going through CPS, which is the source that gives it to all the other organizations. And so that's why my husband and I decided to go through CPS and have our children.
And how do you decide, I mean, you know, without me trying to sound, you know, very personal, but how do you decide, you know, on what child you're going to adopt? I mean, how do you decide when, you know, is it, you know, you pick a child, or does CPS pick a child for you, and then you have a certain time of knowing each other?
Well, to be honest with you, we had the opportunity of having a dual license, which is where you can foster and then adopt, and you have the first choice. And so we were able to have the children in our home since they were infants, 3 days out of the hospital, and they were in our homes. And so we had that bonding, and we were able to have the privilege of getting to know them and loving them from the beginning. So it wasn't hard to accept them in our home.
Oh, congratulations again. I think that that is just an awesome, I think, support, but an expression of feelings, of emotions, of love, that I think that's what we need to get across, ladies and gentlemen, that we probably need to showcase again continuously more of what the, you know, adoptive parents are doing. Wendy, tell me something about yourself and why you do what you do.
Yes, my husband and I had always talked about adopting an older child, because there are a lot of people who don't want to adopt the older children. And so unfortunately, my husband and I weren't able to have children of our own. So we decided to go the adoption route and to go through CPS, because there's so many children out there who need homes. And since we hadn't been able to have children of our own, we wanted to start off younger at first. So we have a dual license too. Like Sylvia, we're foster to adopt, and we've adopted 2 little boys this past December, and they're 23 months and 22 months.
Congratulations. But fortunately for the children, that you and your husband had that feeling, you know, had that emotion, that passion, that love, that's what you wanted to do. Because I think it's, you know, as was mentioned earlier, the fact that there's many children out there that unfortunately are still waiting.
Right.
And how does, I mean, I guess, what's the end result?
Well, if we're not able to find permanency for these children, well, some of them will age out of the system without finding a permanent home to live in. And so that's our goal, is to try to find homes for as many of these children as we can, so that they'll have a family to provide support for them even after they graduate from high school and college and so on.
And tell us again how some of the children become or custody of the state.
Well, there's a lot of reasons a child might come into the state's custody. You know, we have a state hotline that people can call if they have concerns about a child's safety, and they'll call and they'll give information to the operator there in Austin, and they'll take that information and they'll try to get as much information as they can, and then they will staff it with a supervisor to see if it meets the definition of abuse and neglect. So every time we get a call doesn't mean there's going to be an investigation, but when they do determine that there might be a concern, then they will send that report out to the different offices, and then they go out to check to see if everybody's okay, and then they try to determine from there whether we need to intervene, or whether somehow we can help that family to keep it intact.
And when families are, I know I got a caller on hold, and I'll be right with you. Hold on just a second. But when families are looking for adopting, then you do explain to them about the child and how they became custody of the state?
Yes, whenever we select a family, you know, they submit their studies and they're selected. Then we try to. They have a right to read the records. All the records that we have, a redacted record.
And not to become controversial, but I've got to ask this question about. And I know everyone has a right to adopt children as they see fit, but I hear sometimes people say, I don't know if this is true or not, but you know, they'll go other parts of the world and they will adopt. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just curious, we can have a decent conversation without really being negative. It's just, maybe it's just an opinion, and maybe you're not in, you know, you're not in a position to give that opinion. But sometimes I've heard that it's too lengthy here, that it's too complicated. I heard y'all talking about licenses, so I want to come back to that. How complicated it is, or is it just because we're trying to protect a child, which I'll let you respond in just a second. Let me get to this caller who's been patiently waiting. You're on the air, go ahead, please.
Yeah, hi, this is Linda Victor.
Hey, Linda, how you doing?
Okay, I was looking at your show.
Well, thank you, and I hope you're ready to celebrate Mother's Day.
Yes, I'm celebrating, celebrate Mother's Day.
Good,
but
good.
You know how that goes. Not for me not to have my mother around for Mother's Day.
Well, but you got beautiful memories, right, Linda?
Yes.
We celebrate the beautiful memories, and we try to pass that on.
Yes.
So you remember that, okay?
Yes.
So we talk about the beautiful memories, and you still enjoy Sunday and have a happy Mother's Day, okay? Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. We'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
And that's true. I mean, I guess the fact that if some individuals don't have their moms, it is, I guess, a human part of us. You know, we feel the pain, but I hope that, you know, the fact that we celebrate the beautiful memories is one way for us to keep that memory alive. But I was going to ask you, get back again, I don't know if you can answer the fact that I've heard these comments, that it's real complicated to adopt a child here in the United States.
No, it's not complicated at all.
Well, I know, because we got examples here. So, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, we have examples here. I wasn't trying to, you know, ask a rhetorical question.
Right.
But I have heard that. And some people, and I don't know if that's true or from their perspective, from the individuals.
Right. Well, it's a very simple process. We have information meetings all throughout our region. It's the Harris County and the 12 surrounding counties that in Region 6 that we have. And we have information meetings that we put out a schedule at adoptchildren.org. People can go there and they can see the schedule of those meetings, and they can come to the meeting and we'll do a PowerPoint presentation, try to give them all the information that is required to become a foster or adoptive parent, and then they can decide, make an informed decision whether they want to take the next step. They have to consent to, they have to be at least 21 years old and consent to have background checks, and then we have some training that they go through, and we do an in-depth home study to find out and get to know the family, and then we try to, they become certified and they can foster or adopt, you know, whatever their preference is, and go from there. Okay. So it's not a difficult process.
I know I got a caller on hold, but I want to come back to both Wendy and Sylvia about the 2 licenses. So when I come back, you know, give me a little, I think a little background on that. You're on the air, go ahead, please.
Yes, Mr. T.
Yes, sir.
Robert.
Robert, what's up, Robert?
How are you?
You ready to celebrate Mother's Day?
I'm ready.
Good.
I'd like to tell my wife Happy Mother's Day. And, you know, we talked about it, remember?
Yes.
She's the mother of my children.
That's why. I know she's not your mother, Robert, but she's the mother of your children, and you got to, I know you're grateful because you got some beautiful daughters.
Thank you.
So
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations again, and I think it's okay that we tell our wives Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, I believe so. I believe so. They deserve it.
Yeah.
I'd like to congratulate all those mothers and fathers out there. They adopt children. I think they go, you know, way out of their way to help out, you know, little kids and stuff that otherwise they won't have any. So,
well, you're absolutely right.
Congratulate them too.
Well, thank you.
I have one a little article from the Reader's Digest, and see if you can see if I don't mess it up. It's
Go ahead.
Just a little piece.
Share it with
It
us.
says May the 10th is the day we honor cooks, waitresses, nurses, teachers, maids, chauffeurs, psychologists, psychiatrists, doctors, and bankers, or to use their generic name, mothers. I like that.
Yeah, would you hold on to that so you can email me that? No.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that.
I think it was kind of cool.
Robert, have a happy Mother's Day. Thank you.
You did too.
You made our night.
Good
Take
night,
care.
sir.
All right. Good night. I know we got to go to the video, and I'll just hold a second. Let me get a response, from about the double licensing. Sylvia?
Well, the double licensing, it's more being able to foster children and have them in your home, and then being able to have the opportunity to be the first to receive them in your home as an adopted child.
And when is it real difficult to get the double licensing?
No, it's not real difficult. So if you go in at the beginning, it's better to kind of do it at once and keep it open in case if you change your mind. That way you're going to get the license, so you might as well do it both at the same time, because it really doesn't entail, anything much difference at all. So I mean, it's best to go in if you're going to do it. If you just want to adopt, well then that's fine. That's one thing. But if you're thinking, oh, I want to foster, but there may be a chance I want to adopt, just go ahead and do the dual license from the beginning.
Okay. And I know I got another caller on hold, but I want to make sure, Brenda, we still want to talk more about, the 8 grandchildren you decided to adopt, and, how, what if the parents, do you still see the parents? Or are they going to be able to see them, or the children, or how does that work?
They can, if I allow them to see the kids, they can see them. Well, my daughter, she doesn't come see the kids, so I just take care of them the best I can. Their grandparents, some of the fathers, they come see them,
They do. But you took the main responsibility.
Yes.
And I think, as the caller Robert mentioned, he wanted to congratulate you and thank y'all, because, not just, I know you're not just doing it for yourself. I mean, there's got to be some gratification because of the love, the passion, but what you're doing for the young person also. Let me get to this caller who's been patiently waiting. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
How you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing, sir?
All right. Congratulations on your 2010 award-winning show.
How did you find out?
I'm one of the producers up here.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I shared the podium with you on a win, but you're doing a good job.
Well,
and my question is,
thank you.
I have a child that we got from the hospital when he was born, and we signed papers at the hospital with the social worker. The young lady was in prison, and they let out to have the baby, and then they took her back to prison. We've been having the baby now since he was born, and we even named the baby. Baby has my last name. So, but we haven't legally adopted, but we have paperwork showing that we a guardian, and he's almost 3 now. So, do I need to still adopt, or is that my adoption?
I'm not going to answer it as an attorney or as a legal advice to you, but I will ask my guest to explain that, because I think there is a legal process that is going to be beyond what you just got at the hospital, I believe. But let me answer over the TV, and I congratulate you also for stepping up, though. And I have some very special moms that are here today. I want to introduce them again. Wendy Kardoff adopted 2 special needs children. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And Sylvia Zamora adopted 6 children from CPS.
I did.
Thank you very much. And Brenda Coleman adopted her 8 grandchildren.
Yes.
Do you have more grandchildren?
I have 23 grandchildren.
23. So the 8 were the ones that needed you.
They needed me the
And
most.
they needed your attention, your special attention. That's why I said special mom. So,
Yes.
But I wanted to answer the caller that asked that question about at the hospital having those documents signed. Is there any more that he needed to do? And let me have Ralph Owens with CPS maybe give his comments.
Well, it's kind of a difficult question to answer because there's a lot of variables that we don't know the answers to. I guess the first question that would come to my mind is, what about the parents' rights, or had they been terminated for the children that he has in his custody? And you can't have an adoption of a child unless the parental rights have been terminated by the courts, have been adjudicated. And so that would be, but other than that, if that be the case, he would probably need to retain an attorney to consult with him and help him to go through the process to file a petition with the court for the adoption, you know, if that be the case.
And I think that advice is very important. If you contact an attorney now, sometimes some of the lawyers have hotlines where they on certain days give you free advice. There's also some attorneys that work for some nonprofit organizations that can give you free advice if that is an issue when it comes to money, because I know attorneys are expensive, and that's because of their training, their special education that they have to go to, not just their 4 years of college, but you know, going to graduate school and getting their law degree and passing the bar. So, you know, I know folks, sometimes we make fun of attorneys, but, you know, giving them, you know, their due respect, understanding, you know, what they go through, then maybe we'll appreciate, you know, what they're really about. And for some reason, I think sometimes they just, you know, those of us that are not attorneys, we don't understand why they charge us to give us advice, but that's their job. They're professionals. So even though Ralph has experience through CPS, I think that contacting an attorney is very, very important. So I know I got another caller that's on hold, and I'm going to be right back with you, the caller. Just hold on just a second. But I do want to come back to talking about the special needs, Wendy, so we'll come back to children. So let me come back to you. Let me get to this caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Yes. How do you become a foster parent?
Very good question. I'll let one of my special guests answer that. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Take care. How do you become a foster parent?
Well, as we said before, it's a simple process. To start that process, they need to come to an information meeting, and we do a presentation to tell them all about becoming a foster parent, what their qualifications are and everything. So that
Ralph, as you're talking, let me ask my staff, can you put that information in the front so as Ralph is giving the information verbally, y'all can, the viewers can write that number down. It's right in front of your screen. So this meeting you're talking about, Ralph, it's held where? How often?
You can go to adoptchildren.org on the internet, and you can see we post all the information meetings, and we have them in every county in this region. There's 13 counties, and we have them regularly in some of the larger counties every month or every other month, so that people that are interested can come and find out about it. And then that's the first step in the process to becoming a foster adoptive parent.
So to the caller again, you know, get that information. I hope you copied the number. We'll be featuring that throughout the last segment. It's right in front of you. It's 1-800-233-3405, CPS Adoption Hotline. But you can also go to the website, which is what again, Rob?
It's www.adoptchildren.org.
Okay. And you can get that information. So getting back to the special needs children, you know, what made you adopt children with special needs?
You know, we just found it in our heart. Our oldest child was born deaf. So he just received, this past November, he received a cochlear implant. And he was activated for the first time, that he heard sound for the first time, December 2nd. So he's been hearing for 5 months now, and he's doing wonderful. I mean, his first word was not mama or dada, but it was mine. And his second word, he's just starting to say ma, ma, ma. So he's doing great. And then our second little boy was born 4 months premature.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And Sean is on the left. He's in the brown. He's Chewbacca. And Jason is Darth Vader. And like I said, he was born 4 months premature. He spent 5 months in the hospital. He had bradycardia apnea, so he came home with oxygen, pulse, and apnea monitor. And today he's doing beautifully. They're both doing wonderful.
Real simple. What does that mean, what you just said about what he had when he left the hospital?
What it meant was he had a problem with his breathing. All his organs, lungs weren't fully developed properly. So he had to go 7 days in the hospital without having an episode or coding out. And so he went home on the equipment just to monitor him to make sure everything was okay with the oxygen. And slowly, after several months, he was taken off his oxygen, all his monitors, and all his heart and stomach medicines.
Congratulations.
So,
that's awesome. I know the caller's been holding, but I'll be right with you. But so what did he mean by mine? Like everything around here is mine, huh?
No, when we went to the speech therapist, she had a pen, and she started off with, "This is mine." So then when he saw my cell phone, he was like, "Mine."
Oh, yeah, kids learn that.
Yes.
Kids learn that. That's mine. Let me get to our caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hello, Constable.
Yes.
Hi, this is Jackie, your dispatcher.
Yes, Jackie.
I had a question because I've been interested in adopting, and I'm wondering if they have rules on single parenting.
Very good question, Jackie. Well, thank you for watching and paying attention. I know you can do both, watch TV and dispatch at the same time. That's why, I got the TV there. And so I think definitely you're going to qualify. You're very talented.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll answer over there.
Okay.
All right. That's a good question for a single parent. Jackie, is a single young lady that is one of our dispatchers, does a great job there. So what would we tell her?
Well, we have a lot of single parents, and you can be single, married, divorced, widowed, just about everybody, that is over 21.
So then the
and
same
has right
applies.
qualifications.
The same applies to a single lady as that other caller called. What do I do to become a foster parent? What about to adopt? If she wants to consider adoption, would she call that same number also and that website?
They go through the same training and a lot of the same requirements to be an adoptive parent or a foster parent.
And Jackie, right in front, on your TV screen, write down that number, and just so you can get that information later on as to the steps that you have to take. And we have another deputy that's working behind the camera. They're waving to me that they adopted as a single parent, adopted 2 sons. There's BJ. Yeah. BJ, congratulations. And I've seen your young sons grow up to be young men, very successful in scouting. So one of them got the Eagle Scout. So congratulations to you. Oh. So we're finding out a lot of stuff on this show. Yeah, it's awesome. Well, I think adoption is something that we need to talk more about because I think for some reason, especially in some communities, whether it's the Hispanic community or in other communities, that there's still not enough information, and maybe we have. I'm trying to not say the wrong thing, but maybe we just have wrong information, false information, and we need to help me out, Sylvia.
I find that I have a lot of people that stop me and ask me that because I think a lot of people don't have enough information in reference to adoption or fostering. And I'm really grateful because a lot of people will stop me and they'll say, "Thank you for adopting because I was in the system and I didn't do that," or, and I'm really grateful that we have that privilege of being able to be able to talk to people in reference to fostering and adopting.
I know I have an older sister that did adopt a young little boy, and his name was Victor also, just like mine. And she and her husband, Mike Burns and Ramona Burns, did a great job with little Victor. And then he's grown up to be successful, and he's on his own, and we're very proud of him. But of course, like in any families, that's Sylvia's family. Yes, Sylvia Zamora and her children, and your husband.
Yes, we were out camping this weekend with the Travis Elementary second graders at Glen Rose, and we were looking for fossils at that time. So,
yeah, tell me, how do your children get along with each other?
They get along well. It's interesting to see how each one of them has their different personalities, but they all have different questions for each other, and they really work it out because we all eat our dinner together, and sitting around the table, they all have their ways of...
I mean, because those of us that, you know, have our own children, we got to deal with them fighting all the time and bickering and, you know, which one's a spoiled one and which one's not. I mean, I'm just wondering, you know, if adopted children have their version the same.
It's the same. Yes.
They have the same version of
yeah,
it.
they're exactly the same.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's interesting. So for those of you at home that are worried because your children are like this, it's going to be the same with the adopted children. So you're already going to get that experience. You have the expertise. It's going to be a lot of fun. Has it been a lot of fun, even though you've gone through struggles? You know, I think it's you know, logical to say.
Yes.
There's some
I think
struggles.
it's been great. At the same time, we've had struggles, but at the same time, I think if more people knew the information that was out there, they would do it.
Yeah,
More would
and I hope that that's what this does to you at home. What I need your help on, I've always asked you, is to talk about this. You know, let's talk about it, but in a way that's realistic, folks, that's balanced, okay? You just can't see some kind of movie on TV or at the theater that kind of shows, you know, a negative, a hostile version of a young person that's adopted or, you know, a foster parent. You can't just read something in the paper and say, this is it. That is, you know, so illogical, so imbalanced, and so unfair. I need you to talk about this and be reasonable with people. We don't have to get into confrontation. We don't have to argue. Let's just have a conversation about it, right? That the fact that there's children out there that need all of us. We just have a few examples here. I'm sure there are other special moms and dads out there, but this is Mom's Day. Special moms. That's what it's about. So there's other special moms, so we just have a few. I know I got a caller on hold, I'll be right with you, but I wanted to finish that message that I need you at home to talk about this. That's what this show's about, folks. Remember, the Victor Trevino show is about, you know, telling you stuff that we need help on. The only way we continue to improve the quality of life in our community is through you at home. You know, that's how we're going to do it. This show is not about, I mean, we talk about some controversial issues, but it's more so to balance things out. I think there is a balance to everything that we disagree on and everything that we agree on. There's a balance here, and that's what this is about. You know, there's children out there that need us, and we just need to be considerate. Especially now on Mom's Day, it's a good time to talk about it. Let me get to this caller who's been patiently waiting. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hi.
What's up, Janie?
Oh, nothing.
I missed you the other day.
I know, but you sent somebody over there.
I'm sorry. You know, I'm still dealing with this budget issue, Janie.
I know.
But I'm going to get out there, you know. I'm seeing you right now. I see that beautiful smile. I'm watching you.
I'm watching you too. Tell that lady I've done 8 children she adopted. I congratulate her on that.
Thank you.
She's a good grandmother.
And the other 2 ladies also. All of them, yeah.
All of them.
But you know.
Happy birthday for your mother-in-law and your wife and, you know, and your mother.
Thank you, Janie.
And
we also wish you a happy Mother's Day. Congratulations on your beautiful family.
Thank you very kindly.
Thank you, Janie.
And
Take
you
care.
have a good one.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I know this show's gone so fast, folks, and to my special guests, we're kind of running out of time, so I want to have some final comments from each of you so to make sure that I know I've left something out that y'all probably have something to say, but let's start off with Wendy. Some final comments. Take your time.
If there's anyone out there who has it in their heart, if they can love, if they can nurture, if they feel that that's something they want to do, call that number, check out that website, because there are a lot of children out there, and it's not a hard process. You just need to get started now that you have the information. Just go in, get the information you need. You can get all your information and your questions answered. And I just want to wish everyone out there a happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. Ralph, final comments?
Well, just want to say we are always looking for good, loving, nurturing homes for these children. And if a person would like to come to one of those information meetings to find out more about it, we'd be glad to share with them. That it's not an expensive process either. A lot of times there's no very minimal expense involved in adopting children, and we provide free training and we do the home studies free, and so there's not a lot of expense for the family, and just most, anybody that really loves children can do this.
And to those at home, again, talking about being balanced, I still call it CPS. I'm sorry if I'm not using the correct name, because I think the correct name is, help me out.
Well, it's under the umbrella of the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. CPS is one of the agencies.
And sometimes, like anything else with the media, the only time you're going to see them is when it's something negative. You don't see the front page, the headline breaking news about all the great work that CPS does. So I just want you to know at home, to balance it out in your mind, that when you're watching the other news, the local news, it's just sensationalism versus the fact that CPS does a great job. And unfortunately, yes, there is some tragic involved, but overall, I mean, you look at the moms that are here, this part of CPS. So congratulations and thank y'all. Brenda?
Yes. I just want to say to the people out there that's relatives and a child is in danger, that they need help, open up your heart and help them out if you can, or find some way to reach out to those children, because my heart really goes out to children that are in special situations.
Where the family could step in and help out.
Yes.
You're right. And it is a challenge, ladies and gentlemen, when the family needs to step in to help out, their loved one. Brenda did. Sylvia, final comments.
I just want to talk to those young couples who get married and decide that they want to have children, and all of a sudden they find themselves not being able to have children. I just want them to think twice and think about adopting, because there's so many children here in the United States that need people like them with love and care and just a home to be able to bring these children home to them. And yeah. I hope that they can open their hearts to do the right thing and adopt.
And again, I know if I got a couple of seconds left, happy Mother's Day, especially also to my wife, Sylvia. Congratulations, she's right here in the studio. Maybe they can show her a little bit before we go out. Can somebody get the camera on her and say, there you go. Just smile, babe. Just smile. You're on Candid Camera, Channel 17. Now, happy Mother's Day to you, babe. And to those of you at home, special day, happy Mother's Day. So y'all enjoyed, have a good time. There's a lot more we could have covered. Unfortunately, maybe we'll talk about it some more later on, or call that 1-800 number, because with foster parenting, there's also a support that the state helps you financially in some situations. Happy Mother's Day. Thank y'all very much.